Hey everyone, I'm in my new room. I improved it a little bit. I'm going to make another video about this one, but it's nearly finished. Last week I had a shoot for a pasta company and I shot the whole thing in a couple of hours. For this one I wanted to give you guys a look behind the scenes and see the whole process. I'm going to show you how I shot the whole thing, how I did my planning and organizing, and what gear I used. Before I start explaining, let's have a look how the commercial turned out. The company asked me to make a promotional video to showcase how they deliver at companies. Therefore, we had the idea to make up a story. People are working together and one guy gets hungry. He asks his colleague if he's hungry too, and when both agreeing, they decide to order from the website. The order comes through at the restaurant and the owners of the restaurant or the workers, they start making the order. Then they deliver the order to the company. The final scene is opening the delivery and eating the whole thing in a pleasant looking way. The key for a shoot like this is planning. I needed some actors, a driver for the car, nice weather, an assistant, and then we were good to go. For this shoot I used my ZCAM S6 as usual, together with the Sigma 18-35 1.8 lens. For the steady shots I used my gimbal, which is the DJI RS2, and for the wider shots I used the Tokina 11-16 2.8. For the real steady shots I used my Manfrotto tripod. For some additional lighting I used the Godox VL300 together with the Aperture light dome. For all the B-roll shots that you see, I used the Fuji X-T3 together with the Sigma 24mm. For the editing, I used Adobe Premiere Pro as well as the coloring, and the music was used by Artlist. Now that we got all of this out of the way, let's have a look at the first stop. We started out at the pasta bar since this was the logical thing to do, because we're working with real food here. Because the lighting in the restaurant was really yellow and dim, therefore I needed some additional white light. I used my Godox to light some scenes. I switched a lot between wide shots and close-up shots to make things interesting. Try to add faces as well to give the company more of a personality. I filmed how the pasta was cooked and how the sauce was added, and then to finish, how they drizzle the toppings. They pack the whole thing in a box, put it in the car, and then drive to the company. For the outside scene, we were in luck. The weather was looking real good. Therefore, I could make a nice reveal of the logo at the restaurant and have a nice shot of the car leaving. I used the gimbal to accentuate the walking of the employees. After loading in the car and leaving on the road, this was a good opportunity for me to climb into the pickup truck myself to make a moving car shot. This was something I always wanted to do. Although this wasn't the safest move to do, I was really glad I did it because it delivered me a great shot. I used the gimbal upside down and held it like my life depended on it. And maybe it literally did. When arriving at the destination, we made the handing over shot first. Then it was time to actually create the first shot. I thought it would be funny to add in some sound effects like stomach rumbling to really accentuate the fact that the people are hungry. This made the movie kind of quirky and awkward, but I kind of like doing that. I made everyone sit down at the desk and used my tripod to have a wide scene. I used the Tokina 11 to 60 millimeters, and I think it was at 11 millimeters to really have a wide shot that the audience really sees what's going on. Then I switched to some closer shots to have an intimate look at each individual, what they are saying to each other and what they are doing at the computer. And then ultimately it was time for the final scene, which was the opening of the delivery, handing out the pasta and eating the whole thing. I thought it would be cool to explore the realm of super slow motion. I used 100 frames per second for the first bite to really exaggerate. I want to thank the boys for their bravery because the shots weren't really flattering, but it turned out really funny. So thanks to all the actors. And then in the end, the bellies were filled and time to celebrate with a good old beer. So that was the whole commercial. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked this video. And I also hope that you maybe learned a thing or two. If you enjoyed this, please leave something in the comments. I really enjoy reading those and replying to those. See you guys in the next video. Next week I'm abroad. I'm in Morocco for a shoot actually. I'm bringing my camera gear and I'm going to try to make a YouTube video about that as well. So we'll see each other next week in Morocco. Bye bye.